In today's tips video, we're going to be discussing why is my English not improving? And this is a common question I get asked. And it's quite complicated really, but let's break it down. So here are some of the factors that you should be considering. First of all, have you set realistic goals? This is one of the most common problems. Students will set themselves an unachievable goal. They will say, okay, this year I'm going to get the FC exam, and by next year I'm going to get my proficiency. That is very, very tough to do, and you have to be very, very good at learning languages to achieve a goal like that, or be extremely dedicated and spending a lot of time to achieving that goal. If you're just studying a little bit, every week, it's not really going to happen. So the first thing I want you to ask yourself is, are you setting yourself realistic goals? Because this is one of the reasons why people get, depressed, or they lose faith in their English ability, and they kind of get a little bit fed up and they say, oh well, I've been studying but nothing's really happening. And this is one of the reasons why. The goals just aren't realistic. Are you studying regularly? This is another thing. A little and often, I've said it in a lot of my tips videos, you need to study, maybe not every day, but every 2 days. Every day is the best, but because of our busy school schedules or work schedules, let's face it, we can't all do this. But you need to organize yourself and study regularly, because that way, you're going to be practicing all the different skills and you will improve. This is the most efficient and effective way to improve your English. Are you challenging yourself? Another thing people will do is they'll spend time maybe on the social media, and when you're doing this, you've got to make sure that you're learning things of the appropriate level. Yes, learning any English is good English, but you need to be kind of pushing your level, always challenging yourself, trying to learn new, harder words. And that's why on this channel we have the white vocabulary, which is general, and then we have the black vocabulary videos, which is more difficult and for proficiency. There are levels that you can push yourself and challenge yourself, and this is what you really need to be doing, and this is how you'll see real progress in your English. If you're just doing really easy stuff all the time, okay, it's excellent practice, but you're not going to be improving as much as you should. Are you working on your weaknesses? This is a common problem. We all have our favorite things that we like doing, like grammar or writing. Well, no one likes writing really, do they? Well, some people do actually, that's not true. Vocabulary, like me, I'm a vocabulary nut. I love it. A lot of people just don't like it, and because of this, they kind of leave this area and work on a lot of other things. You have to work on your weaknesses, because it's really logical here. You're weak in those areas because you need to practice them. Therefore, you should be doing these areas more than other things. So if you've got a problem with your grammar, then you really need to focus on revising your grammar and doing lots of grammar exercises. And in this way, you'll improve. Yes, it's not the most enthusiastic thing in the world, but hey. Are you working on all of your skills? Kind of similar to the last point here. We all have our favorites, but this comes, together with some of the other points. You need to revise often and practice all of these skills on a regular basis. Grammar, writing, listening, vocabulary and speaking, all of these have to be practiced. And it's very common for students to focus, maybe if they're doing a practice test book, they'll do lots of readings, for example, or lots of practice writing, but they're doing no speaking. So when the exam comes along, they're completely unprepared for their speaking. Very common. Make sure that you're paying attention to all of your skills, your speaking skills. And if you are doing this, you will see your English improve. Overall, if you ask yourself this question, why is my English not improving? You have to hang in there, because the fact is your English is improving. But learning a language just takes time. It's not something that just happens overnight. It's a very passive process a lot of the time, and it does take time. You're not like a robot that can just oh, now I know Spanish. No, doesn't happen that way. You know, this is why a lot of people say the best way to learn a language is to go live in a country. The reason for this is because it's total immersion. You're there, you see the language all around you 24/7, you listen to it, you have to practice speaking it because people don't speak your language. You see it everywhere around you 24/7, and this is why that works, because you're just getting so much so quickly for such a long time that you absorb it. But for the rest of us studying in a foreign language like English, that's not going to happen. You've got to make time to study it, and therefore it takes a lot longer. And of course it depends on your linguistic abilities as well. So overall, keep on learning. Try and enjoy it. That's the whole point of learning a language. It's got to be enjoyable. If you're not enjoying it, something's going wrong. Ask yourself these questions, and I'm sure this will give you some things to think about, and maybe some things that you should be doing a little more of or a little less. If there's any questions about this, please don't hesitate to get in touch. If you want some more tips to improve your English, why not check out this video? And remember, if you like what we do, give us a like, share us with your friends, and subscribe, because trust me, in the next couple of months, there's lots of videos coming your way. Bye for now.